Hi there, Steph. Thanks for popping by. So today I'm sharing with you a mass production project I've done for Halloween for my son's classmate. I think they're about 30, and that's quite a lot of them. And I found a well-known crafter on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook as well, who found a way to turn envelopes into little goodie bags. So let's be clear, that's not my idea, that's hers. And I'm sure you may want to watch her tutorial because it's really well explained and normal pace. I did speed things up because I didn't see the point of repeating exactly what somebody else already done. But that's just quickly to show you how I did it, but not into much detail and a lot of explanation. So if you do want to do the same thing, please head over to you know whose blog. And so basically I had a lot of purple and I suppose a kind of yellow orangey-ish envelopes, and for me it was a great way of using them because I had them for I don't know 2-3 years and I'm not using them really, so it's a great way to use them, and it was really good colors for Halloween as well because the orangey for the pumpkin and the purple because I don't know, Halloween purple seems to be a Halloween color now. I don't know why, but I like it anyway. So I don't make a lot of Halloween cards, and honestly I couldn't see myself making 30 cards. So I've decided to create little bags with little tags, and then I will put sweets in it and a little message saying Happy Halloween from James or something like that. So now I've done all my bags. I think I made about 31, and that took me a few hours, so it did not take forever. Don't be scared if you do want to do something similar. Then I started a tag. Obviously the tags did take a bit longer, so I used some Bristol Strathmore Bristol smooth watercolor paper because that's all I have. It's not the cheapest, but I found that it works really well with ink blending. It really helps the blending went really smoothly, and considering I did I think 36 tags, it went pretty quick. It only took me maybe two or 3 hours, maybe 2 hours. So once I've stamped all my images with some Versamark and I use some Hero Art, no sorry, some Ranger superfine embossing powder, I've melted all of that, and I can tell you my head can get really hot, but I got lucky, it didn't turn it off, so it's good, because sometimes when it does overheat, it actually keeps going until I turn it off, and then I try to restart it and it won't restart. So anyway, I'm well behind the creative process here, sorry. So I melted my embossing powder, I used some liquid masking fluid I think, and I can't pronounce the name of the brand, so I'm not gonna try, but it's an English brand I think. I think it's reasonably priced and it lasts forever because I don't use it that often. The only thing to be careful about is while doing ink blending, or maybe more watercoloring and drops of water and things like that, because I'm going to do a bit of water droplets with some Perfect Pearls biscotti color, so it's really it's kind of vanilla color. The water remains on the dried masking fluid, so I had to try out the masking fluid itself if I didn't want to drag along colors under my arms and things like that. So just bear that in mind, just make sure that the liquid is removed from the masking fluid so you don't make stains on your white images when you remove the masking fluid. So for the masking fluid you can remove it with your fingers or you can use an eraser remover. I use it from time to time, but I'm not that, I don't find it that wow that I can't live without it, so you really don't need it if you don't have one. Then, as you've seen, I've die cut all the little tags of my pieces of paper, so in order to save time because it's mass production, I did all the ink blending and all the water droplets, and when that was all dry, it didn't take very long by the way, I did everything the same evening, so it's really not that long to dry. I die cutted all the tags and then I left them overnight. So the day after I started doing the watercoloring, I've used some Ranger distressing, so for this one I used some black soot. As you can see on the side of my screen there's a little piece of laminated paper, and I put my ink on that, and I've also used some pumice stone for that one, and it works quite well because it's kind of lightish grey in the middle and then a bit darker on the edges. I did obviously spend quite a few hours on that project, so I tried to move things forward as much as possible so that video wouldn't last forever. But I tried to use every single onesie image from that stamp set because I just think they're so cute, and I wouldn't be able to really pick I wanted to use them all, and there's a lot of children in that class, so that's perfect. So once I was done with the spider one, I started coloring the devil one. Yes, it's a little devil. And there I went for a lot of blacks. There's a lot of black suit. I know it's quite dark, but I suppose it's Halloween. That's kind of why I did a colorful background, because I knew that the clothes, the little onesies, would be a bit dark for most of them anyway. So I used some candied apple for the red and some black suit for the black. And I used some, sorry, I'm trying to remember, it's not antique linen. It's that very pale pink for the face. I use gathered twig for the hair, and I try to add a little bit of shading by mixing the light pink, tattered rose it is, tattered rose. I try to add a little bit of purple into that tattered rose to try to make it look a little bit darker at the top of the forehead, as if, you know, the hood is above, so try to shade that a little bit. I didn't find it that easy with that small surface, and to be honest, I think my brush might not be the best. I think maybe I probably needed an even smaller brush for these images, but you know, I make it work the best I can. It's for children. I'm sure they'll be happy with the sweets anyway, and they won't care that much about the tag. But I like to do things well, so obviously, as I'm my own worst critic, and I think most of us are like that. So anyway, I move along. I've colored the bat. I'm using my Sakura glaze pen to do the eyes, and then I will use a gel pen to just add a little white dot in the middle. Then I move on to the skeleton, the skeleton. There's quite a few of them, so you kind of lose track after a while. So that's a little skeleton. This one is quite cute, but it was pretty hard to color because there's kind of little bones all over the onesie, and that's probably where I needed a finer brush the most to go in between the tiny bones. So what I've done at the end to just correct, to remove to hide the black basically from the bones, I just used a white gel pen and I just went over it and hid it. The thing is that white gel pen kind of reactivates watercolor, so it does with brush or, and it did a little bit with that Distress ink as well. So I just did it once and then I let it dry and I went over it again. So I'm also tracing the little eyes on the onesie as well as the little face. And that's just to show you how many tags I've made, because there's no way I could fit them all in a tidy manner on the photo. So please apologize the mess at the back of my worktop. Anyway, then I moved on to the little pumpkin. I really like the little pumpkin. I'm not sure if I say it's my favorite, but I do really like the pumpkin. I think it's really cute. So for that one, I used two different shades of orange. I think it's Spice Marmalade and Ripe Persimmon, and I also added some candied apple as well. So I've really used a lot of candied apple on this project, and you don't need that many different colors because there's only, you know, black suit, pumice stone, Spice Marmalade, Ripe Persimmon, candied apple. I used less than 10 different colors for the whole project, so I think that's pretty good. And because it's all one layer, there's no glue and no die cutting and nothing like that, so it goes quite quickly. If you had the dies, you could very well do the tags and then skip the whole masking fluid step, removing the masking fluid and things like that. But for me that works quite fine. I like one layer, and it just saves me time. I think it saves me time anyway. So here I go over the little bones with the jelly pen and just trying to make it as neat as possible. And just adding a little bit of darkness to that suit. Then I decided to add some shading because it was one layer obviously, and it's not much, but I used my C3 Copic marker and I just added a little bit of shading, and I think it's quite nice. Then I moved on to the little mummy, and the mummy is so cute, and I used some antique linen, some tea dye and some gathered twig, I believe, and I just colored on the edges and just added a bit of water and then dragged the color toward the middle, but I tried to keep the center quite bright, you know, to reflect, to look like the light is reflecting onto it. Then when I'm done with that, I also add a little bit of shading. And here we go. So that was quite a, you know, that took me 2.5 days to put together, but I really think it's cute and I hope the children will like it. I hope you find it interesting, maybe get a few tips along the way. If you did, please don't hesitate to click your thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. For photos, please head over to my blog. Thanks and have a great day. Bye.